Hey friends, I'm Curtis Aikens and I want to be your supervisor. I'm here with some supporters of the campaign. However, this is unscripted. So I want my friends to push me, as I say to folks, to be a good supervisor or to be a good at anything, you have people that push you to greatness. I got that quote from Mickey Mantle. He says, surround yourself with people that want to be better than you, so they push you to be better than you think you can be. So I'm asking my friends today, Michael Prichard, Jim Skidmore, Laura McDonnell, and Janice Bazurto, to ask me questions that they want the supervisor to do for them and our community. So take it away, friends.
Curtis, can I go first?
Go, Jim.
So one of the things that I noticed when I was walking downtown and talking to a lot of businesses is there's a parking issue down there, and there's a modernization type issue. It doesn't have a vibe yet, right?
Right.
And I know as supervisor, you can't control like the roads and the parking, but you can have an influence on the city council.
Exactly.
And so I'd like you to expand on that and what you feel about the downtown area and the businesses.
Well, great question, Jim, and something that we hear a lot about in town. We have mandates coming down from the state that the cities, that the counties really can't do anything about. So we are forced to follow those mandates. That being said, what we have to do as community, as people that live in Novato, District 5, and we want to create that tax base. So we've got to have these businesses come in. We need to have parking, right? Now, one of my questions was, why can't we do underground parking? This is something I didn't realize until speaking with the planning people, speaking with builders, Michael. The fact is that the water table in Novato is much higher than other parts of the county. So it's not feasible to build underground parking. So what we've got to have is a groundswell from the people in Novato saying, yes, we want housing. Yes, we want these things. So if you vote for me, then I can help the city council get those things done in a way. We need to build a parking structure downtown.
So what would be doable? Like taking Penny Hardware and maybe building, a 3-story garage there with the bottom being a business, similar to like Petaluma, maybe something
There
like
is
that.
issues. There is issues with the ground over there.
Right.
Is there? Okay.
And that's an interesting thing to say. Like, one, someone already owns that building, so I can't tell you what to do with your house, right? However, we can incentivize the people that own that building to allow us to go up.
Yeah, not just Penny, but anywhere.
Yeah, any place downtown. So I got it. So it can be done. We need the voters in Novato and District 5 to say, Curtis, when you elect me, if I get enough people voting for me, knowing that these are the things that we're going to work on, that's the mandate to get it done. Okay. Then I can push forward with that. Anybody else? Michael, Laura, Janice, questions?
What are you going to do that the other supervisors haven't done? Previous supervisors.
That's another one of those great questions, Janice. And she says to me, she says, what am I going to do that the other supervisors haven't done?
Or what can you do?
Well, our campaign was formed on listening. And what I'm hearing in our listening sessions that we're doing is that it's time for a change. And I ask people our kids went to school together. Can your son afford to buy a house in Marin County?
You cannot.
Right.
Or anywhere.
My son can't afford to buy a house in Marin. They both have good jobs. Jim?
My daughter and her husband are very well off and can't afford to live here.
Michael?
Well, what I love is, and this is where I'm going with you, because I've watched this guy with kids and with people and with teaching. And we got to start at elementary level, moving into middle school, moving into high school, because you build that base of love and support for a person who's a good politician, but an even better leader. That person engaged with kids owns the future, and that's what I see in him.
Thank you.
And I see it with because I filmed a bunch of PBS series here, right in Marin. It was amazing because it was paid for by Warren Buffett and Chuck Huggins from See's Candies,
right.
And they paid for us after Columbine. And after Columbine, we had so many people murdered at that school. They wanted to know business leaders.
Yes,
This is what they wanted to know. Why is this going on? It was 1999. One of the kids from that show owns a great studio right here in Novato, and he's part of the solutioneering that we need to do. And that's why
we got to do it, right? So going back to the idea of housing, we've got to have that tax base. We've got to bring new businesses in. And that's one of the things with my connections and people like Michael Prichard and the people you know or at your former company, Jim. We've got to bring these people, these connections in to do business in Nevada. We've got to open up. We've got to have a tax base that rises. We've got children leaving the school. We've got people. We've lost 5,000 jobs in Marin County in the past 7 years, or the past 5 years, like an average of 1,000 jobs a year lost in Marin County. So with our connections, the hope is to bring more businesses downtown. So I've got ideas, but again, it takes that groundswell to get those things to happen.
Well, I think that's where you might be strong in this, is the fact that even though you don't totally have control over that, you know how to influence.
Right. And with the evolving role of the new supervisor, because we have such a strong executive in Derek Johnson, whom I think is the best hire Marin County's had in 25 years. He's a very strong leader. He thinks about the future, and he doesn't forget about the past or the right now. You have another question, Janice? I'm sorry.
Yeah, but now I just forgot what it was.
That's okay.
Let me look for that.
Laura, anything?
Oh, I know what it was. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I am very invested in working with young people and supporting young people in Marin to be ready and able to take advantage of opportunities.
Right.
And so I'm speaking as an executive director of a nonprofit, and there are so many of us here in Marin who are doing really heartfelt work, and we do different things. We try to collaborate, but we just really need to be seen, and we're in just a tough place, as everybody knows, with funding and staffing. And I would just love to know how you can support you can't support everyone, I know, but to know who is doing what in the nonprofit world for Marin kids. I know that we met serving Marin kids, but there's so many organizations doing such heartfelt work for the Marin community.
Well, I love that. And you and I talk about this a lot. Michael and I talk about this a lot. The fact is that there are a lot of nonprofits out there. Cream rises to the top. Your program is cream. The work Michael does is cream, right? So the fact is, we as supervisors, I want to put together kind of a panel of District 5 people because each supervisor has, for lack of a better term, I don't want to say slush fund, but she or they have funds that they can designate to go to certain places. So I don't want that to just be on my shoulders. I want to have a process that's fair. Yeah. Like if you come to me, and it should be a situation where, yes, I know you. Yes, I respect and love the work you do. However, if I write a check to Laura's foundation, am I playing favoritism, Michael? So we've got to have, I got to have a vote in it. Right. However, I need to have a panel of people that I trust, like you two, that can say, okay, when someone comes to us asking for help, let's see, one, you have a track record, and you have a brilliant track record. So I don't think there's going to be any problem in the supervisors delegating our funds for you and your program. Now, there are some programs that have not done great work. They have beautiful mission statements, and the executive director is off to Tahiti while he's missing payroll, right? Yeah. It is not a cool thing. So I think, again, like Jim asked earlier, the supervisor does not control what happens in the city. She or they can influence it. So one of the influences I'd like to push is that these good programs get the funding they need. Yeah,
and so you're touching on something really important, I think, is, kind of doing that due diligence of like figuring out, what is this organization doing beyond their mission statement?
Exactly.
That's one thing. And so, I'm not trying to say one organization is more deserving than another. However, I know that collectively, the Board of Supervisors manages a lot of money, that budget. And I just think, can we push a little more money into this work? I mean,
I'm all for that.
Some of the things that we're doing, no one else is doing.
Laura, I'm all for it. The work you do and the work Michael does with children with neurodivergent, and I love the way you phrase that, Michael. It's a neurodivergent. I mean, can you elaborate a little bit on that terminology? Because
we, I was a neurodivergent kid, and I just watched a thing at a recovery meeting last night about this very issue. ADD, dyslexia, what you would call autism spectrum, high functioning, low functioning,
right,
and just different kinds of learners. And we've got to pay attention to that. I've been on the board of directors of the San Francisco Junior Giants program for years. making sure that we include kids into the sports programs that
Yes.
are neurodivergent to teach teamwork.
Teamwork.
Teamwork is together, everyone, anyone matters.
Yeah, that's
Boom.
good.
And that's what you want. You want that kid learning. And here's why. One day you might have a child that's
Yes.
neurodivergent.
Yes.
And you
Yes.
want to be started early learning how to make sure he is your teammate, he is to be respected, or she
Yes.
is to be respected,
Yes.
loved, and engaged.
You want to explain what that is for people that don't know what that is?
Sure, for neurodivergent means different brain type folks. And it started, there's a book out called the ADHD, the Edison gene. We find out so many of the kids are geniuses
They are.
on a
Yeah.
different level.
Yeah.
And so this book is by Dr. Thomas Hartman. And what he was saying was, and this is a perfect example of how this country came to be. He goes, there was a young man who never had passed, fourth grade education, but he created the first philosophical society, the first debating society, the first lightning rods, first stoves, first eyewear. And they named the University of Pennsylvania after
Wow.
him. And his name was Dr. Benjamin Franklin.
Wow.
Had he been born now, he might have been marginalized and put in a prison because they couldn't secure that he was a disappointment to the,
Michael, this is one of the reasons I love hanging out with this guy. He drops these nuggets of knowledge all the time. We were doing a shoot up in Santa Rosa, and I'm sitting there like, I couldn't say a word because he had so many great things to say. All right, we're going to wrap this up in a minute. I want to share something. I just got back from Alaska, my first time in Alaska, and I was speaking to Rotary
Yeah.
groups. And this is, again, a powerful group. So what I'm thinking now, folks at home that are watching this on YouTube, wherever you're watching this, these folks in this room, these 4 human beings and someone behind the camera are what it's going to take to change that same old. So what I mean is that I want to lean into Michael Prichard for his knowledge, how to get children in school motivated to want to do better. It's not where you're at, it's where you want to go. And people like Michael Prichard, Jim Skidmore, Laura McDonnell, and Janice Bazurto, they have life history that they can share. They have lived experience they can share. So I want kids to know it's okay. It's okay to not know where you want to go. I'm 67, Michael,
Yeah.
and I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up. I still don't. However, I do know how to take care today. Jim, parting words from the county of Marin to District 5 Novato. What would you share about this campaign that you're a big part of?
Well, what I have found out is in talking to most people, when we talk about you and your background, and once we get into the topic of government being sort of big and hard to follow and everything like that, that I know you're the perfect person for this.
Thank you,
really.
brother.
I
Thank
mean,
you, brother.
I've said it before. I
Thank
say it
you,
to you all
brother.
the time. But you're a uniter, but not necessarily a uniter. You're a person with vision that can take things from all over the place, come up with a simple plan, and present it to people that is
Thank you.
easy to understand.
Thank you, Jim. Laura, anything you want to share with the folks that are
I
watching
just
this?
love how connected you get with folks. Like when we work together with young people, I wasn't like bringing my program and working on your spot. It was like we were all working together, and you became part of our circle. And then the youngsters had someone else to look up to besides me and my team, and our teams merged. And that to me is the whole like we're better together
Amen.
kind of thing that I just love.
And that's what I love
Yeah.
about watching you work with the children. And Michael, Jim, I need you guys to see Laura work sometime with her students.
Sure.
They become family. And when
I'm working with one right now.
Yeah. And I share with people, like, when you become my friend, you become my family.
Yeah.
And people go like, what do you mean? I go, but it's true to that way. That's why, we've known each other so long, and you can call me at a drop of a hat.
Yeah, and I don't want to steal Victor's thunder. I've been hiding this from
I
you for
love
a couple
that kid.
days,
Love that kid.
and he's probably going to be here pretty soon. But Victor is a typical case of a kid who had a few issues and has overcome them. And I understand
I
these
love that
issues
kid.
aren't really real. But anyway, when we go around and talk to people, I say, Victor, tell me what you want to tell them about Curtis and your relationship. And what Victor talks about is how you taught him as a child down in Marin City how to work in the gardens. Okay.
Don't make me cry.
One of
I
your
mean,
favorite
Don't make
things.
me cry.
I was hoping she would cry, but
Aw.
anyway, that is how he approaches people, and the people love hearing from Victor when he talks about that, because you're helping a kid who is now developed into a young man who has shown an interest in calling on people, politics. He wants possibly to
Did
get
you
into the
not know
gardening
that?
business.
No, I didn't know this.
Yeah.
All right, so don't get me teary. All right, Janice, what would you like to say to folks? Not about. It doesn't have to be about me. It's like, what do you want folks to do, inspire? What do we do?
Well, we're here about you. So what I wanted to say
It's
is,
about community.
well, it's community. We're a community. We're here. How many? 7 of us here. 6 of us. 5 of us. I haven't learned how to count yet. 6 of us.
That's right.
See, I could be funny too.
Already on.
I've known Curtis for a long time. We've been through a lot of ups and downs
Yes, we have.
together. Not together, but
You
But you-
together.
okay.
Together.
And you really can't go wrong with this guy. He's got a
Thank you,
heart,
Jen.
and he's got a heart.
Thank you,
Good
Janice. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I leave it for my man Michael to kind of wrap this up because, it is May 4th. May the 4th.
May the 4th
May
be
the
with
4th be
you.
with you.
So now, for those who don't know Michael Prichard, and I really want you to know that all these folks in this room, Michael, I think every kid in Marin County over the last 30, 40 years loves you.
Oh, I have had fun with them. And the draw is, it was a great teacher by the name of Helen Keller.
Mm.
And they said, "Oh, Miss Keller, it must be hard for you to be blind." And she said, "Well, it would be if I had no vision. We see with our hearts." This man sees with his heart, he acts with his heart, and he's going to be able to solutioneer so many things for us in Marin County and guide us and lead us in a way.
Thank you, brother. On that, we're gonna
All right,
mic
buddy.
drop it. We're gonna mic drop it. Bye, everybody. Peace, Marin County.